Women over 60. When he tells you this joke, it's not just a joke. It was just a joke. How many times have you heard those words after a man said something that stung? Here's what I've learned after decades of life experience. When a man over 60 makes certain types of jokes, he's often revealing his true thoughts in a way that allows him to backtrack if called out. Welcome back to Wise Advice for Elderly. Today, I'm going to share 5 specific types of jokes that are never just jokes. They're windows into how he really sees you, your relationship, and your future together. Understanding these hidden messages could save you from months of confusion and heartache. But first, if you're ready to decode the real messages behind men's words and protect yourself from disguised disrespect, hit that subscribe button now. Here at Wise Advice for Elderly, we help you see through the games and recognize your true worth.
Joke number 1. Jokes about your age. When he says things like, "You're really showing your age today," or "Maybe you're too old for this," he's not being playfully teasing. He's revealing his true feelings about aging and how he sees you. Maya Angelou said, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time." This applies perfectly to age-related humor. A man who truly accepts and appreciates mature women doesn't find their age funny or use it as material for jokes. Here's what's really happening. He's testing the waters to see how you'll react to age-based criticism. If you laugh it off or don't push back, he learns that he can continue to make you feel less than because of your age. He's also revealing his own discomfort with aging and projecting those insecurities onto you. Take Barbara, 65, who told me about her experience. He would constantly make little comments like, "At your age, you probably forgot," or "I guess that's what happens when you get old." When I finally called him out, he said it was just teasing. But I realized he was systematically undermining my confidence about my age. The psychology behind this is particularly insidious because it attacks something you can't change, your age, and something that should actually be celebrated, your experience and wisdom. A man who makes these jokes is revealing that he sees aging as something negative and embarrassing, rather than as evidence of a life fully lived. Contrast this with Robert, who Patricia, 67, describes this way. "When I mentioned feeling self-conscious about my gray hair, he said, 'That silver makes you look distinguished and beautiful. You've earned every one of those beautiful years.' That's how a man speaks when he truly appreciates mature women." Here's the deeper truth. Men who are genuinely attracted to women over 60 celebrate your maturity, wisdom, and experience. They don't make jokes at the expense of your age because they don't see your age as a flaw to be mocked. They see it as an asset to be appreciated. The practical response: if a man makes age-related jokes about you, address it immediately and directly. Say something like, "I don't find jokes about my age amusing. Is there something about my age that bothers you?" His response will tell you everything you need to know about whether he's worth your time.
Joke number 2. Jokes about commitment. When he laughs and says things like, "I'll never get married again," or "Thank God I'm done with all that commitment stuff," he's not making casual conversation. He's telling you his exact intentions while hiding behind humor. Sigmund Freud observed, "The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to the unconscious." Similarly, these commitment jokes are the royal road to understanding his true feelings about building a future with you. This type of joke serves multiple purposes for men who want to avoid commitment. It allows them to be completely honest about their intentions while maintaining plausible deniability. If you get upset, they can claim it was just a joke. If you don't react, they assume you understand and accept that commitment is off the table. Consider Linda's experience. Every time marriage or living together came up in conversation, he'd make jokes about avoiding the ball and chain or keeping my freedom. I thought he was just being playful about a sensitive topic, but after 2 years, I realized he'd been telling me the truth from the beginning. He had no intention of ever committing. The psychological mechanism here is called truth-telling through humor. It allows people to communicate their real feelings while avoiding the vulnerability and potential conflict that comes with direct honesty. Men use this technique because it protects them from having to take responsibility for disappointing you. A serious man approaches commitment conversations very differently. James told Susan, 64, "I know we're both cautious about commitment after our previous marriages, but I want you to know that I'm open to whatever develops naturally between us. I'm not afraid of commitment with the right person." That's honesty without hiding behind humor. If you've ever heard these commitment jokes and wondered if they meant something deeper, give this video a thumbs up. Trust your instincts. They usually do. Here's what to watch for. Pay attention to the consistency of these jokes. If he makes commitment avoidance jokes repeatedly in different contexts, and especially when the topic of your future together comes up naturally, he's telling you his truth. Don't dismiss it as humor. The practical response? Address these jokes directly by saying something like, "I notice you often joke about avoiding commitment. Help me understand what you're really trying to tell me." Force him to have an honest conversation instead of hiding behind humor.
Joke number 3. Jokes about money. When he makes comments like, "I hope you're paying, you're the rich one," or "Good thing you've got money because I'm broke," he might be revealing his expectations about financial arrangements and potentially testing whether you might become his financial support. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "You can often tell a person's character by how they treat money, both their own and other people's." Men who consistently make jokes about your money, or their lack thereof, are often revealing their true motivations and expectations. This becomes particularly relevant for women over 60 who may be financially stable from careers, inheritances, or divorce settlements. Some men specifically target women they perceive as financially secure, and their jokes about money are actually probing comments designed to gauge your wealth and your willingness to share it. Take Dorothy's story. He would constantly make comments like, "Lucky me dating a woman with her own house," or "I hit the jackpot with someone who doesn't need my money." I thought he was complimenting my independence, but I later realized he was calculating how I could benefit him financially. The psychology involves what researchers call resource assessment. He's evaluating what you bring to the table financially while simultaneously positioning himself as someone who might need or expect financial support. These jokes allow him to test your reaction to financial inequality in the relationship. Healthy men approach financial topics with respect and honesty. William told Carol, 68, "I want to be upfront about our financial situations so we can plan dates and activities that work for both of us. I never want money to be a source of stress between us." That's mature communication, not joking manipulation. The pattern to recognize: if he consistently makes jokes about your money, his lack of money, or financial arrangements, especially early in the relationship, he may be more interested in your financial security than in you as a person.
Joke number 4. Jokes that belittle your interests. When he mocks your hobbies, dismisses your favorite TV shows, or makes fun of your daily routines, he's not being playfully teasing. He's showing disguised disrespect for who you are and what matters to you. Carl Jung wrote, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." But when someone consistently mocks what brings you joy, they're revealing their inability to appreciate your individuality and their need to feel superior. This type of joke is particularly damaging because it attacks your authentic self, the things you genuinely enjoy and find meaningful. When someone makes fun of your book club, your gardening, your exercise routine, or your favorite movies, they're essentially saying your interests are silly or worthless. Margaret, 63, shared, "He would constantly make jokes about my little hobbies, my quilting, my book club, my volunteer work. He'd say things like, 'Still playing with your sewing?' Or 'How was gossip hour today?' I started feeling embarrassed about things that used to bring me joy." The psychology behind this behavior often stems from insecurity and a need to establish dominance. By diminishing what you care about, he elevates himself and makes you feel smaller. It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation disguised as playful teasing. Contrast this with how David treats Linda's interests. "When I told him about my pottery class, his eyes lit up. He said, 'I love that you're exploring your creative side. Will you show me what you're working on?' He's genuinely interested in what makes me happy, even if it's not something he would choose for himself. A man who truly cares about you will show genuine interest in your passions, even if he doesn't share them. He might not want to join your book club, but he'll ask what you're reading. He might not understand your love of gardening, but he'll admire your flowers and appreciate your dedication." Joke number 5. Jokes about other women. When he makes comments like, "Don't get jealous if I look at her," or jokes about finding other women attractive, he's not just being playful. He's testing your boundaries and revealing his attitude toward loyalty and respect in relationships. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Similarly, the best response to a man who disrespects you through jokes about other women is to refuse to accept that behavior as normal or amusing. Are you starting to recognize these patterns in your own experiences? Leave a comment below and tell me which type of joke you've encountered most often. These jokes serve several purposes. They allow him to express attraction to other women while claiming innocence. They test how much disrespect you'll tolerate. They establish that he doesn't consider himself bound by typical relationship courtesy. And they make you feel insecure about your place in his life. Susan, 66, described her experience. "He would constantly make comments about attractive waitresses, actresses on TV, or women we'd see in public. When I said it bothered me, he'd laugh and say, 'I'm just joking, don't be so sensitive.' But it made me feel like he was always evaluating other options." The psychological impact is significant. These jokes create insecurity and make you question your attractiveness and value. They also normalize disrespectful behavior by framing it as humor that you should be able to tolerate if you're not too sensitive. Compare this to how Thomas treats Patricia. "In all the time we've been together, he's never made me feel like I was competing with other women or that he was looking elsewhere. His attention and appreciation are focused on me, and he shows that through his words and actions consistently." A man who is serious about you and respects you doesn't make jokes that undermine your security in the relationship. He doesn't need to comment on other women's attractiveness or make you feel like you need to worry about his wandering eye. Let me show you the contrast by describing how men who truly respect you handle potentially sensitive topics. About age. "I love that you have so much life experience. You've seen and done things that give you such interesting perspectives." About commitment. "I want to be honest about where I am emotionally and what I'm looking for so we can both make informed decisions about our future." About money. "Let's talk openly about our financial situations so we can plan activities and make decisions that work for both of us." About your interests. "Tell me more about your book club. What are you reading that you're excited about?" About loyalty. They simply don't make jokes about other women because they understand that respect and security are foundations of good relationships.
Here's how to tell the difference between playful teasing that shows affection and jokes that reveal disrespect. Red flag humor consistently targets things you can't change, like your age, makes you feel worse about yourself. It happens repeatedly, especially about the same topics. It creates insecurity or anxiety. Is defended with, "It's just a joke," when you object. Green flag humor is genuinely funny to both of you, makes you feel closer and more connected. Is balanced. He can laugh at himself too. Never targets your core insecurities or vulnerabilities. Stops immediately when you indicate discomfort. If you're experiencing these types of jokes, here's how to respond. Step 1. Address it immediately and directly. Don't let multiple incidents build up before speaking up. Step 2. Use clear language. "That comment hurt my feelings." Or, "I don't find jokes about blank amusing." Step 3. Ask for clarification. "What did you mean by that?" Or, "Help me understand what you're trying to tell me." Step 4. Set clear boundaries. "I need you to stop making comments about blank. It's not funny to me." Step 5. Evaluate his response. Does he apologize and change his behavior, or does he defend the jokes and continue making them? Here's the ultimate truth about these jokes. A man who truly cares about you, respects you, and wants to build something meaningful with you will not consistently make jokes that hurt you, demean you, or make you feel insecure. Love doesn't express itself through mockery. Respect doesn't show up as criticism disguised as humor. A genuine partnership doesn't include one person consistently making the other person feel smaller or less valuable. At our age, we've learned that life is too short for relationships that make us feel bad about ourselves. We don't have time to waste on people who express their true feelings through hurtful humor and then hide behind, "It's just a joke," when we object. You deserve someone who speaks to you with kindness, who celebrates your age and experience, who respects your interests even if he doesn't share them, and who makes you feel secure in his affection and commitment. Trust your instincts. If his jokes consistently hurt or worry you, they're revealing something important about how he sees you and the relationship. Don't ignore those feelings. They're protecting you from something that will only get worse over time. If this video has helped you recognize patterns you need to address, I want you to take action. First, subscribe to Wise Advice for Elderly right now. We're building a community of women who refuse to accept disrespect disguised as humor and who understand their worth at every age. Your subscription helps us reach more women who need these insights. Second, share this video with a friend who might be dealing with someone who uses jokes to express hurtful truths. Sometimes we need outside perspective to see these patterns clearly. Third, I want you to think honestly about your current situation. Are you hearing any of these 5 types of jokes regularly? If so, it's time for that direct conversation I described. And finally, leave a comment below. Tell me, which of these joke categories have you experienced? Have you ever successfully addressed this behavior with someone? Your experiences might help another woman recognize and respond to these patterns. Remember, beautiful souls, you are worthy of respect, kindness, and genuine affection. Don't accept cruelty disguised as humor from anyone, regardless of how much you care about them. Your feelings matter, your boundaries matter, and you deserve someone who treats both with the respect they deserve.